All right, it's time to get back to the game. So let's meet our next Hall of Fame honorees.
Being born without lower legs didn't stop Blake Leeper from hurtling into life full speed ahead. From the start, parents Bill and Edith helped their youngest son understand he had no limits. Fitted for his first prosthesis as an infant, Blake became a regular at the Boys and Girls Club of Greater Kingsport by the time he was 5. He and his brother Chris loved playing sports at the club in Northeast Tennessee, where the staff treated Blake like any other club kid. As a result, his peers did too. Blake came to value education at the club, where members had to complete their homework before doing anything else. In high school, the athletic skills he developed at the club made him a standout basketball and baseball player. After graduating, Blake enrolled at the University of Tennessee. He thought his days as a competitive athlete were behind him. But in 2009, Blake discovered Cheetah Legs, high-performance carbon fiber prosthetics that changed his life. Just months later, the then-unknown 19-year-old won 3 gold medals at the 2009 Endeavor Games. The victories earned him a place on the U.S. Paralympics team. In 2010, Blake began training full-time at the Olympic Training Center in California. That decision paid off. At the 2012 Paralympic Games in London, Blake won silver and bronze. Now, he has bigger goals in mind. In 2016, he intends to be the first American to compete in both the Paralympic and Olympic Games in Rio de Janeiro. Despite a demanding schedule, Blake makes a point to give back. He's been a guest speaker at numerous Kingsport Club events, and as a volunteer for the Challenged Athlete Foundation, he mentors other athletes with disabilities. After completing his undergrad degree, 23-year-old Blake plans to study medicine. Ladies and gentlemen, Blake Leeper.
Good evening. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little upset. Nobody really informed me that I was following Fantasia. So, thanks a lot, Frank. Appreciate it. Thanks for setting up. But on a serious note, first of all, I'd like to give an honor to God. Through him, all things is truly possible. And second of all, I'd like to thank my mother and my father who's here in the audience tonight. Because if it wasn't for them, I truly wouldn't be here today. They truly pushed me every step of the way as I grew up. And growing up with a disability wasn't easy. I can remember days I would wake up, I could barely make it to the bathroom. I can remember the days where I was hanging out with my friends and they would point and laugh at me. I can remember the days where I was always picked last when it comes to the kickball games and the baseball games. I remember the days where I would try to inch away in the tag game and my leg would just pop off and I would just fall to the ground. And as a child, I was lost. I was confused. I felt like I was the only one out there in the world. I was looking for acceptance. And I did never find that acceptance until I first walked into the Boys and Girls Club. I walked in and they accepted me for me, regardless of my race, creed, color, or my disability. They opened their arms up to my life. So I ask you, if I was to show up at your Boys and Girls Club doorstep with my shorts, you seeing my legs, would you accept me? Absolutely. Yeah. Or would you be afraid because I was different? Thankfully, my Kingsport Club accepted me for who I was. I'm not going to stay up here too long because Miss O'Neill promised if I talk over 4 minutes, she'll come up here and smack me in the back of my head like she was my mother. So I'm going to hurry up. But I would just like to thank the Boys and Girls Club for believing in me before I believed in myself. And before I end, this is to the youth and to the younger heart. It's one of my favorite quotes from Coach Lou Holtz. It's life is 10% of what you dealt with and 90% of how you deal with it. Thank you so much.
Major League Baseball.